What's going on, everyone? Trust the Buzz here. If you're new to the channel, I make Charlotte Hornets content. So if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail title of this video, in today's video, we're going to be talking about Seth Curry, not Steph. Seth. In the trade yesterday, PJ Washington was sent to the Dallas Mavericks for Grant Williams, a 2027 first-round pick. Slightly protected. I think it's top 2 protected. And then Seth Curry. So we're going to be talking about Seth and what I think he could provide to the team. He's not the Seth of old. He's not the Seth that I know a lot of people were anticipating that the Dallas Mavericks would get. Now, granted, I don't really know what the Dallas Mavericks thought they were going to get, because it's not like Seth is just this person who's able to run point guard very well, who's able to defend very well. He's gonna do his best. I mean, he's gonna play hard. Those are things that are small, but the team needs desperately. What I need from Seth, and I mentioned this in the video yesterday, is I just need his ability to shoot. I really, in this rendition of the team, don't really need him to do anything else. We're not that good of a three-point shooting team. As I continue to talk, I'll see if I can bring up the numbers real quick, but we're not that good of a three-point shooting team. We're not horrible, but we also could be a lot better, and I think Seth can provide that. He shoots 36% from the three-point line right now, but it's only through what? Yep, he's played 36 games, average of around 13 minutes. That's a lot for us, considering we don't shoot that well. As a team, I'm pulling it up right now. As a team, we are 20th in the NBA at three-point percentage, and that is 36%, exactly. So him being able to keep that mark up, I think, is going to work out for us. We don't need him to shoot 40%. I think that 36% is good enough. Of course, it's not going to bump us all the way up, but we had some guys who were shooting that were kind of knocking us down. PJ being one of them. So having a 36%, that's really all I need him to do. I need him to also be able to continue moving off ball, which is what him and Steph do so much, and they do very well. Continue to do that, because we need more off ball movement for our ball handlers. I know a lot of times it's just ISO ball, and as Steve Clifford has said plenty of times, we're not an ISO ball team, and that's kind of what it runs into. So being able to have guys like Seth Curry, being able to have guys, I believe Trey Mann, Nick Smith Jr. does a pretty good job of it as well. Brandon Miller has been doing it more, but considering what Brandon Miller is good at, I think he's better with the ball in his hand. We need some guys who can hit shots, who don't need the ball that much in their hand. They literally can just come off a screen and hit a shot. Seth Curry does that. Now, like I said, I know that his 36% matches the team's 36%. But really quickly, I'm going to pull up what the Charlotte Hornets three-point percentages as individual players were, just because of the fact that I do feel like that is important. So I have, I'm on Basketball Reference, and I have done from top to bottom, greatest to least, and we're not going to count Ish. He's at 50%. Nick Smith Jr., 46%. That's very much him. Leaky Black, 46%. Technically 47%, same as Nick Smith Jr. But he doesn't shoot as much. James Bouknight is no longer here. Brandon Miller shoots a whopping 38%, which is actually pretty good for the team. And as you can see, this is where I'm going. Miles Bridges shoots 36%. Gordon Hayward, who didn't really play, shoots 36%. And essentially Terry Rozier, who's also no longer with the team, shoots 36%. Cody Martin shoots 36%. LaMelo shoots 36%. And then that's where it kind of goes, lower than that, because then Bryce McGowan shoots 35, PJ shot 32, JT Thornton shot 32, Teo Maldon shot 17. He's no longer with the team. Frank Ntilikina shot 13. So as you see, that 36%, it's not a lot. It's not going to transcend the team, but it is going to give us a little bit of consistency, because at his 36.3%, that will have him technically be the 1, 2, 3, so that will technically have him be the fourth best shooter on the team already, and we desperately need that. And you count players, like I said, Nick Smith Jr., Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges. I think that's good company. That's good enough to have us kind of be where we want to be and be more of a threat, because, like I said, Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, LaMelo Ball, Bryce McGowan, well, not Bryce McGowan, but PJ Washington, those guys, LaMelo's hurt, but everybody else is gone. And Bryce McGowan just doesn't shoot that well. I'll take his 36%. So we'll see. I mean, it's not whopping. It's not something that's going to change the game, but I do feel like it's going to give us some consistency, especially considering if you look at his past three-point percentages, he's shooting in the 40s every season. This is the only season where he's shooting in the 30s. So we'll see. I think he's going to step it up. I think he's going to be able to provide some of that for us. And his contract, I know, goes a little bit into next year, and we'll look that up really quick. But I know his contract goes a little bit into next year, and the Hornets have a decision to make of whether or not they want to keep him or not. And I think the decision would be to keep him. Part of me slightly thinks that this deal, they got him to kind of maybe lure Steph because of the comments he said. That's not their game plan. I just feel like that's part of it. But at worst, his deal's not guaranteed. But if it does become guaranteed, you have someone that shoots normally 40%. This is the first year he's shooting under 40. You have someone who normally shoots 40%, only making $4 million a year. I'll take it considering our three-point woes. It's gotten better. Of course, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges. But to have someone that consistently shoots over 40, I'll take this bad time with him being on the Dallas Mavericks. And even if he can just bump it up to 38, 39, I'm taking that. And I think that would really help us.